Microsoft awarded gold competency in digital marketing to Indusa as the company focuses on SharePoint 2010 FIS and Fast Search Server. This recognition comes after meeting stringent criteria of resources and a minimum of 5 customer references in this specific solution area. Microsoft validates this by contacting each referral. At Indusa, we cover a range of SharePoint services, including strategy, implementation, migration, customization, application integration, as well as user interface design. Indusa is an approved SharePoint deployment planning services provider. This allows customers like you to use software assurance benefits for SharePoint deployment and upgrade services. 93% of our employees are Microsoft certified. Since 2009, Indusa has witnessed Microsoft.NET Customer Satisfaction Index of a whopping 96%. It reiterates the importance that Indusa gives its clients and the efficiency with which it provides solutions to them. We are a Microsoft partner with gold competencies in web development, independent software vendor, data platform, and digital marketing. We also have silver certification in portals and collaboration and content management. In addition to the cost benefits associated with outsourcing and offshoring technology projects, Indusa brings additional benefits in terms of the additional web part add-ons, automation, and reusable components. Indusa regularly participates in SharePoint technology forums, groups, conferences, and seminars, and of course webinars like this one. Indusa is therefore an integral part of the growing SharePoint community. As seen in this slide, Indusa's portfolio of clients shows the breadth and depth of the organization's solutions orientation. We have clients which range from small startups to Fortune 500, Fortune 100, and Fortune 50 companies as well, for whom we have been working over a decade. Let's get now to a few of the questions which our attendees have entered here in this question answer box. So Dan, can we take a few questions from here? Here is one question that has come up. What scenarios require SharePoint server for internet sites license?
Okay, well, when you expect a large number of anonymous users to access the site, would thus not be able to go for user calls, and when you want to have advanced digital publishing and content management and search features, SharePoint FIS is required.
Okay.
Let's look here. We've got another question coming in here. Maybe you could take this one, Sanjay. Can SharePoint FIS be used for the organization's intranet in addition to the extranet?
The answer is no to that. Take a scenario here. One subset of information is available only to internal users. Another subset of information is available to both internal users and authenticated external users. And a third subset of information is available to anonymous external users. In this case, I think you would need the following licenses. One, the server, which is one SPS RI for servers for internal information. One SPS FIS RI for servers for external information as well. The second one is the internal user for publishing. Of course, needs no cal. Third, the internal users, other users, one cal per user. And then the external user, of course, needs no cal. In other words, the same license cannot be used for an intranet. An intranet would require a SharePoint 2010 server with relevant user cals. Okay, Dan, here's another one. If the Microsoft solution based on SharePoint FIS consists of enterprise platform capabilities, it must be very expensive compared to other market players. Is this true?
No, not really. Here are some points to consider. SharePoint FIS is available by a per-server licensing structure. Therefore, organizations do not have to acquire separate client access licenses. A key Microsoft strength is its ability to offer interoperable solutions that are noticeably less expensive than competing products such as FatWire, Alfresco, EMC, SDL, Tridian, Vignette, and Interwoven, as well as Oracle, which we all know is always expensive. For an organization that already has a SharePoint-based intranet infrastructure, the total cost of ownership will be significantly lower with SharePoint FIS compared to an open source solution. With SharePoint FIS, content managers and IT staff can transfer their skill sets, they can manage sites with familiar tools, they can interact with familiar interfaces, and they also benefit from a favorable licensing cost. SharePoint FIS includes capabilities such as digital marketing, social computing, WCM, and DAM, commerce, advertising, web analytics, user experience, collaboration, and search. It's also built and managed within a single integrated solution that offers a positive ROI. So I hope that answers that question clearly. Let's look at this one. It says, can you manage multilingual sites using FIS?
Let's see. The variations feature of the SharePoint FIS manages multilingual, multi-device, or multi-brand sites. It allows content management between a source site and a target site by facilitating A, designation of the source site and target site with variation labels, B, automatic creation of sites and target pages, and C, propagation of these pages from source sites to target sites with, of course, necessary approval. This feature also provides the translation workflows to efficiently run the translation process. Here is another one. How is SharePoint FIS licensed?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. SharePoint Server for Internet sites is licensed per running instance. There's no client access licenses required, even for authors creating content. When you're using your SharePoint Server 2010 for Internet sites for licensing external-facing scenarios, you must have a server license for all servers that are used to deliver content to external users, regardless of the farm configuration and whether or not users are directly accessing that server, staging, application front-end, and index. Servers in a development test environment are exempt from this rule, assuming they are covered by MSDN, Developer Program Licensing. Here's another one we can take. What are the differences between the SharePoint Server for Internet Sites Standard and SharePoint Server for Internet Sites Enterprise?
Sure. SharePoint Server for Internet Sites Standard, let's see here, helps small and mid-sized organizations create public internet sites or basic extranets. It also provides licensing for the same features as the standard CAL for the SharePoint Server. It's designed only to be used for creating and hosting a single site resolved from a single domain name, for example, contoso.com, and its subdomains, for example, support.contoso.com. The site is basically a collection of interconnected web pages and related web content that share a common homepage. Also, when combined with active Microsoft software assurance, it is eligible to be stepped up to SharePoint Server for Internet Sites Enterprise for an additional fee. Now, SharePoint Server for Internet Sites Enterprise version. This is designed for enterprises to create externally facing public internet sites and very secure private extranets using the full capabilities of the SharePoint Server. It also provides licensing for all SharePoint Server features, the same as the SharePoint Server Enterprise CAL. It also offers the rights to host an unlimited number of pages and or domains. Let's see another one now. Is it difficult to brand a SharePoint FIS site?
That's an easy one. Customizing SharePoint site is a simple matter of manipulating master pages, page layouts, and CSS. Master pages and page layouts are the same, as any other, HTML page and can be modified with Microsoft SharePoint Designer. Pages and layouts, including CSS, can be packaged as features and launched using solution deployment packages. And I think that, there's one more here that I think we could take. It's probably a short answer for you, Sanjay, but how many SharePoint Internet sites are live currently? Can you give examples of some of the big implementations?
Oh, sure. Let's see. There are over 500 SharePoint Internet sites that are currently live, and of course a lot more in the pipeline. Let's see what comes to mind now in terms of the big implementation names. Yeah, here are a few. I mean, Hawaiian Airlines is one, SchoolNet, Crozier, MTV, Dell, The Times, Bank of America, Cisco, Orange County Public Schools, Ford Motor Company, Deloitte, Kraft Foods, US Marines. The list goes on really, but these are a few of them.
Yeah, those are a few familiar companies.
Now, I think we have time for a few more, Dan. Let's see, here's one which says, how does SharePoint FIS compare with open source solutions?
You know, this is a good question, and you get this from a lot of developers thinking they're going to save money with open source solutions. But, you know, customers, they believe that open source software is cheaper. However, we beg to differ. A key Microsoft strength is to effectively offer integrated solutions, such as unified platforms, which are noticeably less expensive than competing products, both open source and commercial. The acquisition cost is much less for businesses having a volume license and support contract with Microsoft as compared to acquiring an open source solution. Organizations running on the Windows environment can substantially reduce their TCO with SharePoint FIS rather than opting for an open source solution. TCO for open source must include all costs, including those for support services, which are often provided by one or only a handful of third parties, if any. Community-based support may seem inexpensive, but they do not offer critical 24/7 care. When you think about it, your website is, the outward-facing, face of your company. Is it something that you want to put in the hands of a couple support people? You really can't put a price on that.
All right.
So I think with that said, I think we've answered all the questions that are out there.
Thank you all for spending your valuable time to discover digital marketing as enabled by Microsoft SharePoint. Your interest and interactive participation makes the overall experience even better. We will share the questions and answers discussed today via a follow-up email. Thanks again, and the webinar is now concluded. Have a nice day, and goodbye.